evening, good evening, good evening. Terry Lynn, you turned off your camera. Why? You look gorgeous.
Oh, I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Before I bring Lisa up, she's backstage. She wants to make sure she's ready. So we're just going to go ahead and say hi to everybody. Hi, Little Bad Wolf. Hi, True Crime Tribe. Thank you for the poster. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, Tina. How are you? Hi, Susan. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Mims. Hi, Harmony. Hi, Celia. Big Bad Wolf. Hi, baby. Hi, Queen of My Truth. How are you? Cole, how are you? Just Doom, how are you? Doom, I replied to you earlier, Terry Lynn. There's an echo. I replied to you early, Doom. Hi, Mayor, how are you? Hi, Gypsy, how are you? Sammy Joe, how are you? Nurse Jen, hi, sweetie. Bernadette, how are you? Okay, I just want to make sure. Stacy, hi, sweetie. Hi, Just John. Hi, Wendy. Let's see. Let's go down. Hi, Susu. How are you? Hi, Christina. How are you?
I'm on.
Okay. Let's see. Hi, Cranky Granny. Hi, Kat. How are you? Okay. I had a nice surprise before I came on live. Um, I did. I had a really, really nice surprise, and I'm just smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I had a nice surprise. Um,
Oh
but
my.
tonight we're gonna hi Wanda, how are you? So we're just gonna talk a little bit, but I'm gonna show you a few little videos of what we're gonna be doing after this. And this is I just want to show you a few that we're gonna be doing. So let me go to my channel, and I did some uploads real quick, but I still want to share them with you guys. So let me just get out of here. And okay, wait a minute. What was that? Okay, she's not ready yet. Okay, so there's in Tennessee, there seems to be in this one, what is it, the 13th district?
Yes.
Okay,
13th district.
13th district. Hi, George. We have, hi, Danielle. There's a DA there by the name of Bryant Clyde Dunaway. And it seems like there's a lot of corruption allegedly going on under his helm. Tonight we're going to meet Lisa Master Key. She is the mother of Aaron Shane Key. And you're going to hear Aaron's death was ruled a suicide, and anyone that reads that autopsy report, I sent it to Rody Gal, who we all know is a forensic professor, and she's going to jump on as soon as she gets a chance to. But I do have what she sent to me as well. There is no way this young man committed suicide. No way he committed suicide. I'm just going to say that. So, are you ready? Okay. All right. Guys, let's meet Lisa. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
I can barely hear you guys.
Can you hear me now?
Not much.
Okay.
You'll have to.
Lisa,
Excuse me.
I'm trying to adjust your let me see. Your mic is up. My mic is up. Terry Lynn's mic is up. I don't know why. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but just faintly.
Okay. Let's see how this is gonna work. Is your volume up? Are you on a laptop or on your phone?
I'm on my phone.
Okay, can you turn your volume up some?
It's all the way.
It's all the way up.
Do you have earbuds?
Not handy. I can't wear them. Let me think. You're in the. Let's see.
Hold on, I got a kid going by. Hold on.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Is that better? I mean, I've adjusted. I've raised my mic all the way up. Can you hear me now?
I'll make sure.
I can hear you, but just barely. Hang on, I'll be right back. I'll see if I can find me a set of headphones.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Got you. Let me just mute her real quick. Okay. So Lisa is Aaron's mother. And guys, I was going to my channel real quick. Just so you know, this is just not something that has something new that's going on in this county. There's a billboard. Oh, Terry Lynn, I didn't put the billboard up. There's a billboard.
You want it?
Yeah, can you share your screen or you can send it to me real
I'm
quick?
about to send it to you.
Okay. I didn't put the billboard up. I'm sorry. But there is a connection with all of these cases when you start digging into them. You're going to hear about Caitlin Ledbetter, who's also missing. She had a connection to Aaron. You're going to hear about the cop that was on the scene when Aaron passed away, who's no longer with us. His mother is going to walk you through her conversation with Aaron the week before he passed away. You're going to hear, oh my God, it's just so much stuff that is going on right now. But I want to thank you all for being here. And for everybody that's coming in, mods, could you please welcome them in, because I'm not going to interrupt Lisa when she's speaking. So, but let's just play this one really quick while Lisa is trying to get her headset. This is an interview that Lisa did. I did get permission to play this from the newscaster.
Dennis Ferrier.
Yes. Who is a friend of Terry Lynn's. And I didn't realize he was a friend of Terry Lynn's until she told me. So I'm going to share this with you guys real quick. Let me just make this bigger, full screen. Okay, my phone keeps going off and I can't do anything about it. So let's see.
On the Cumberland Plateau, people drive by this billboard behind us every single day. It's essentially a call for justice for 11 different victims.
Well, their families say their loved ones' cases have been neglected, ignored, or poorly prosecuted. Fox 17 News' Dennis Ferrier explains it tonight's fight for justice.
Authorities say suicide. The family says murder. The strange, troubling death of Aaron Key.
Lisa Key has a collection of items connected to her late son, Aaron. They are not the warm and fuzzy kind.
This is the part that was around the beam that's in the photos.
A piece of rope that authorities claim he hung himself with.
Blood.
His bloody hat from the scene of his death. She does not keep these things for sentimental reasons. She keeps them for evidence because she doesn't believe District Attorney Bryant Dunaway's version of what happened. She believes her son was murdered. We begin with her last conversation with Aaron.
He said, Mom, I believe I've got into something I can't get out of. Now, I said, son, just pack your stuff and leave. He said, they won't let me.
Something happened. The law enforcement theory from D.A. Dunaway and the Overton County Sheriff's Department is that Key hung himself in this storage shed on Turkeytown Road in Hellam, Overton County. The first problem with that theory is if he hung himself, what happened to his face?
I'd seen him on the embalming room table. I didn't even recognize him. The damage was just incredible.
Guys, I have the picture of Aaron in his coffin, and I am not going to put that picture up out of respect for Lisa and a lot of people that are in the chat, but I do have it. And I sent it to Rody Gal as well, along with the autopsy report.
He had a cut that run from here down through his eyelid, past the corner of his right eye. This meat just folded down over his cheek.
Yep.
Several people lived in this house at the time of the death. The 911 call mentions a big fight.
They're fighting. How many people are fighting? There's 5 people out there.
And people leaving the scene before police arrived.
They're all on meth and stuff, and they've been fighting for the past week out here.
Key did not have any meth in his system. And what about the damage to his face?
They said 2-week-old puppies caused blunt force mass trauma
I have the pictures of the
to the
puppies
side of
too.
his face.
Just take a look at the death scene. The rope is tied from a beam near the top of the shed. How did Aaron Key get up there?
Yeah.
Aaron's right wrist was broke. I mean, the pole, 16 feet high, reach out 4.5 feet. It's not possible to tie a slip knot with one hand hanging on like that.
Then there is the ace bandage. This was always on Aaron's bare foot under his shoes and socks. Key says she found it laying on the storage shed floor, but his shoes and socks were on. How did that happen? If you're wondering how Lisa Key ended up with these crime scene items, she says they were never collected by law enforcement. She got them afterwards when she was trying to figure out what happened. She said she will never forget walking into the house on Turkeytown Road.
The bleach smell in the house was so bad I had to walk back out.
The medical examiner determined the cause of death was hanging. He notes unusual patterns of abrasions, contusions, and lacerations of the eyelids, but attributes them to the small dogs on the scene. As far as the hanging, he notes no hemorrhages or injuries in the neck structure. The hyoid bone, often broken during hanging, shows no surrounding soft tissue damage. This was a big man, 6'5", 240, allegedly found on the floor of the shed, the rope severed. How did he have no neck injuries? We asked nationally known Detective Sheila Wysocki and her team to look at the autopsy report.
Sheila is also a friend of yours, right, Terry Lynn?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Lisa is back. Okay, she's back. So we're going to stop it right there. Let's get Lisa up. Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. Oh, my God. So I played a portion of the interview you did with Dennis. And from the conversations you and I have had over the last 2-3 days, explain to all of us what happened the day that Aaron passed away.
Him and the girlfriend had gotten into it. He caught her in a compromising position. The night before, he was done. He was leaving. He packed all of his stuff, had the homeowner take him over to where his father was at. Somewhere around 10 a.m. They spent the day together. And when Hack dropped him off, he told him to come back around 5 and he would try to have his rent money for him. Aaron rented a room there for him and his girlfriend because she couldn't stay nowhere else. She was klepto. And
now you did say
like I said, he asked his daddy to take him back down. It was around 4:55 p.m. His dad dropped him off. He walked around the truck. He hugged and kissed his daddy and laughed a little bit. And he asked his daddy what he thought about his tennis shoes. His dad didn't like them. And he said, Daddy, come back and get me in 30 minutes. I need you to take me to Livingston. And his dad went down the road, turned around, went back by. Aaron was walking in the house. His dad had walked back out to get into the truck. He was actually in the truck, fixing to start it to go get him. And a lady called and told my son's cousin that lived where Aaron's dad was at the time, that Aaron was dead.
Okay.
So his dad had his cousin take him down there, and police. Actually, when his dad arrived, there was a paramedic there, and
Oh, yeah.
during the time she was up there and his dad was coming up the hill, I guess police arrived and they sort of cordoned off the scene. They wouldn't let him anywhere near Aaron. And Aaron was ID'd by a photo and not by a family member. And,
okay, Lisa.
it was just, that's, the beginning of the nightmare. I got the call around 6:30. I'd come back from Nashville, and I literally fell out of the bathtub. I called Overton County and kept calling. Detectives wouldn't call me, so finally I guess they had Aaron's dad call me. And I said, "Is Aaron gone?" And he said, "Yeah." So I made
Hi, Cindy.
arrangements.
Lisa, before you get
For
to the
the
arrangement part, just hold
funeral
on.
home to pick him up, and I told him, I said, when you go to pick him up, call me, and I said I will head that way. So one of the person that actually told me was one of Aaron's friends. He's the one that called when I was in the bathtub, and he said, "Ma said, Big Brother's gone." And I said, "Who?" He said, "Big Brother." I said, "Who is this?" And he said, "Mama, it's Bo." I said, "What happened?" He said, "They said he hung himself." I said, "Is he okay?" He said, "No, Mama, he's gone." So I decided just to sit where I was at, make peace with that he had hung himself. And when the funeral home called me, I live about 288 miles away. I drove up. I got there about 10 o'clock Monday night. And I asked his daddy what happened. And as much as his dad could tell me, that he had hung himself. Well, these phone calls started coming in, people I didn't know, saying, Aaron didn't do it, they killed him. And I just chalked that up to small town rumors. They travel in small towns. And Tuesday morning, we went in to pick Aaron's stuff up. Out, and his dad was with me and his cousin. His name's also Aaron Key. They walked outside to smoke, and I was standing in the hallway talking to the funeral director, and I said, "Is Aaron in that room?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I want to see him." So he walked in front of me and turned the lights up. And, I just glanced for just a second. When I turned and looked at him, I said, "There must be a mistake." He said, "Why?" I said, "My son was supposed to have hung himself." And he asked me his name, and I told him. He said, "There's no mistake. This is him." I walked over to him. The damage, I didn't recognize him. His nose was broke. The skin from his eye, it was just, hanging on his cheek. His left eyeball was ruptured. The right side of his face, it was It looked like hamburger meat. It was beaten so bad. His right earlobe, he always wore a diamond stud earring in either one ear or the other. And the carat diamond stud earring had been ripped completely out of his ear. And I looked at his neck. I couldn't find no marks on it. And I kept looking. And I turned to the director. I said, do you see any marks? Because, as a mother, I'm not objective, especially at this moment in time. And he said, I can't find any. He said, in 25 years, he said, I've never seen a suicide with this much damage and nothing to the neck but the face, like it is. And he asked me if he had been in a fight. And at that moment, I didn't know. I told him, I said, I have no idea. He said, well, he looks like he's put up one hell of a fight. I said, okay. So, like I could see, they had the sheet on him. I could see his collarbones down his arms, probably about 6 or 8 inches. And I noticed I didn't see the top of the Y-type incision. I don't know if I may have overlooked it, but I do not remember seeing it. And I looked down the sheet. His left hand was laying on top of the sheet. And at that moment, I still didn't believe it was Aaron. But when I looked at his hand, he had a star tattoo on his left ring finger. That's how I knew it was Aaron.
Okay, Lisa. Okay.
And I run out. I was in a rage. I went to where it happened. I didn't bother knocking on the door. I just threw the door open, walked in. I said, if Aaron's got anything here, I want it. I looked at the room that he had rented, and it was clean. I mean, Aaron was very neat. His clothes were always clean. He took a lot of pride in how he looked.
Yep, I saw the
And
pictures.
the room, there wasn't no curtains, there wasn't no blanket, sheets, pillows, nothing, no curtains on the windows. I didn't think about it, but my eyes and my nose started burning so bad I had to leave the house. And still at that moment, it wasn't dawning on me exactly what was causing it. And I got outside, and of course I had tears running down my face from where it had affected my eyes and my nose. And I walked out to the shed. Walked out there and I looked, and it just nothing made sense. Aaron was 6'6", 245. And by this time, I already had possession of the rope that had been hanging. His hat I found at the crime. I picked up that day myself. There was just nothing made sense. And while I was standing out there, I call him Rascal, come walking out. And he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm looking. He said, why? I said, 2 and 2 don't equal 4. He said, why? I said, Aaron didn't hang himself. I had knew this man since he was real young. I remembered him when he was a really good guy. He was a guy that when he talked to you, he looked you dead in the face, looked you dead in the eye. And when I told him Aaron didn't hang himself, he dropped his head and looked at the ground. He wouldn't look at me anymore. I knew at that moment that he had something to do with it. So Aaron's dad got there and his cousin. We were picking his clothes up, some of them as far out to the side of the road. A bandana. The hat was laying over like it'd been just jerked off his head and threw off in the corner. And I picked it up and I asked his dad, I said, is this the hat he was wearing yesterday? Means Friday when you dropped him off? He said, yeah. And, he told me what he had on when he dropped him off. So initially we were told only Aaron and Karen were there. And, at that point, I didn't know any different. I'd heard the man that owned the house, he's now deceased, Hack. He ought to get an Academy Award.
Okay, Lisa.
But anyway,
Lisa, can you
he
hear
said
me?
none of them was there but her. All of them was telling the same story.
Lisa.
And that's the same story I
Can you hear
got up
She can't hear us.
until Dennis Ferrier got involved. When the 911 call report, no, actually, I'm wrong right here. It was a while, so maybe 6 months after Aaron's death, my daughter, myself, and another lady went to the Overton County District Attorney's office to look at what they had.
Can you hear us?
Lisa.
Hello?
Lisa,
Can you hear us?
me? Can
You
hear
can't
me?
hear me?
Okay,
No,
yes,
can you
I
hear
hear
us?
you, but hold on. I have a question for you. Wait a minute.
I can't hear you either. Wait a minute. I see. Wait a minute now. Hello?
Can you
Can
hear
you
me?
hear us? She can't hear us. Oh crap.
You can hear me.
Are you saying anything?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
talking.
I can't hear you now.
Okay. I need you to take off the headset
no.
probably because you're
You-
talking. I can hear you.
You want me to go out and come back in?
Yeah, go out and come back in.
Okay, well, that's what I'm.
Okay.
I
She,
wanted to ask her about the hat, and I wanted her.
yeah,
to
the
tell-
hat, because it was full of blood, but he was supposed to have hung himself. And when she said that she was driving back to her home, all of a sudden she had like a short pain in the back of her head, is what she said.
Yes.
And if Aaron hung himself, why is there blood? And his hat was
Saturated.
saturated. Okay.
Yeah, it was saturated with blood.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so Lisa, before you go on, okay, you said that when you were driving back home to your home, you had a sharp pain in the back of your head. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was driving from Nashville. It was, I was about 50 miles from home. So I was home by 6:30 and had got my car unpacked and got in the bathtub. So when the call come in, and but on the interstate, there was a pain hit me in the back of the head. It was bad enough I had to pull over and let it subside, and then I went on home.
And you think that was around the same time that Aaron was hit in the head, correct?
Yeah, the timing that would have been about right. They ruled his time of death at 6:15.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I understand, it was more like around 5:15.
And that's what I'm about to say, because you said your husband dropped him off around 5 o'clock, and he told him to be back in about 30 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Between that time and the time your husband left, it was less than 30 minutes. He gets a phone call that Aaron is gone or he's
Yes.
dead, deceased.
Yes, ma'am.
So when he dropped him off, he had on the tennis shoes.
The brown Chuck Taylors.
The brown Chuck Taylors, the hat. But when he was found, he was wearing camouflage boots.
Yes, he had on a pair of knee-high, lace-up, what they call snake biter boots.
Snake biter boots, okay.
He was in the crime scene photos. He was laying on his left side. He had, when his dad had dropped him off, he was wearing a dark blue thermal t-shirt. It was not t-shirt, a thermal knit shirt because it was still cool.
Okay.
He had on jeans and the brown Chuck Taylors, and the Realtree hat was a brand new hat. And he kissed his dad, hugged him, told him to come back and get him 30 minutes to take him to Livingston. And in the crime, when we went in to see the crime scene photos, I knew what the medical examiner had sent back to me already.
Mm-hmm.
And when I looked at the crime scene photos, I said, "Oh, wait a minute." I said, "I got a question." And they said, "Okay." I said, "That is not the shirt he was wearing when his dad dropped him off." They said, "What do you mean?" I said, "First of all, Aaron owned only one white shirt, and it had some kind of decal on it that was silver-like. Actually, I believe one of the pictures you've got, he has that particular shirt on. But this was just a plain white T-shirt that looked like it was virtually spray painted on him."
Okay, Lisa, hold on. I have Rhody Gal here in the chat. She is the one that I sent the autopsy report to. She's the forensic professor, and I'm going to bring Rhody up real quick, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, and I want her to tell us what she saw. Are you ready, Rhody? I'm dropping a link for you, sweetie. There you go. So, but you also stated that the clothes Aaron had on, they were found in a suitcase and they were all wet.
No. Aaron, the clothes he had on, sent back from the medical examiner's office, everything was soaking wet. They had carried his suitcases out to the shed and put them in the building with them.
Okay.
And I asked them why everything was wet. And they said, well, he had tried to set his suitcases on fire and they had put them out. And but there was no signs of scorching or no smell of accelerant on them. And the floor of the shed was dirt. It wasn't wet.
Okay.
So, I mean, I started getting a lot of red flags real early. And of course, as a mom,
I think she
you want. Go ahead.
Heidi, are you froze? Heidi, I think you're froze. I think Heidi's froze.
I think she is too.
I'm like, wait, Heidi, and then okay, you got to lay down, baby. Heidi, you're froze. Oh Lord. No.
Send her a text message.
Oh no. I think she'll realize that she's froze here in just a moment.
Okay.
I hope. Okay.
Well, do I just go on and tell the story, or?
I mean, I don't know where she wants to go from there. If she wants to
I'm here. Okay, so Rhody can't connect. She can't connect from where she's at. So let me tell you what she said. I sent Rhody the autopsy report for Aaron.
Yes, ma'am.
I sent her the pictures, okay? And Rhody came back and she says, she said, what automatically jumped out at me was that both lungs were full of air and there was no damage to his larynx.
That's
She
correct.
said, how could that be if he hung himself? And she's a professional. And Rhodey is here.
Yeah, she's saying that. I got a kid that's about to walk by. Hold
Yep,
on.
and she's saying that she doesn't know too much about the case, but she's eagerly, but she only read what I sent to her, okay? And I sent her the full autopsy, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And Rhodey, I also want to know, there were no x-rays taken. Is it normal for an autopsy if they don't take x-rays? Because I've always thought now they're drawings, but is it normal that there's no x-rays taken? And that's what I'm trying to figure out, because when I went through it, there was no damage. And she says it herself. There's no damage at all to the hyoid. There is no hemorrhaging in the eye. So how did this man commit suicide? And you're hanging. I'm sorry I did that. But you're 6'5" and you're 245 pounds.
Yeah.
And Nurse Jen is a nurse. She's really a nurse. And she says, yes, why wasn't the hyoid bone broken? No neck injuries. No, there was a faint mark around his neck. Is that right, Lisa?
Well, now, me, my daughter, or the funeral director never could find a faint mark. That's just what it said in the autopsy report.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. But if you notice, the mark where they show it was at was under his Adam's apple. And where he supposedly hung himself, it was 16 feet. Aaron is 6'6". The rope I have that was supposedly what he hung himself on, if you notice in the photos, that rope never cinched up into that beam.
No, it never did. And I'm going to show that rope. Hold on. Rhodey wants to know, and she asked that before, and I asked you. She said, how did he get coal miner's lung? That's what she wants to know. That's what's bothering her. She said,
Aaron, they are things. When we read the autopsy report, my daughter and I did, it was like we were reading an autopsy report for somebody else.
Okay.
Aaron was in excellent physical condition. He walked 6 or 8 miles every day. He did smoke, but he was never a heavy smoker.
No, she's thinking that was his job. But
no, he had a job running a track drill outside, but not long enough to it affected his lungs like that. And I believe it says he had COPD or something on there.
He said that in the autopsy report.
Aaron was never diagnosed with COPD.
Okay, so this is what stood out to me. On the autopsy, it automatically says that he was bipolar.
Aaron, yeah. Aaron was not bipolar. He was never diagnosed bipolar. All these assumptions, I'm assuming, come from the officials at the scene.
See, but there's a contradiction, because they said there were massive blunt force trauma.
Yes, there were.
The eyes, which is consistent with the story of the dog. Now, guys, these dogs are tiny puppies.
Yeah.
I sent you a picture of the puppy.
I have the puppies, and I really didn't want to. Okay, let me just pull the puppies.
They could have never have done that kind of damage, in my opinion.
Well, now the thing I had never dawned a couple officers run. Well, they basically sat down and done a podcast and virtually tore this autopsy report down. Aaron's height, they had him at 6'2". And 208 pounds. And I realize you lose a certain amount of weight after death. But I don't see how you could lose nearly 40 pounds I mean, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
They're saying that the dogs were chewing on him, but they said blunt force.
Yes.
Okay. Rhodey said I looked it up. Drill work can cause coal miner's lungs. So yes, okay. That'll probably yep, she says she just looked it up. So with that being said, the district attorney, so this happened on April 5th, 2019.
Yes, ma'am.
Bryant Clyde Dunaway. This is his office, but it came from his assistant district attorney, whose name is Mark Edward Gore.
Yeah.
He sends this to the sheriff's department, which I find odd. It says, close your letter for the investigative file for Aaron Shane Key.
I have a theory about that.
Okay.
When you want my theory, I'll be happy to give it to you. I can't state it's a fact, but up until last March, I had filed a FOIA in 20 or 21. I'd have to look back and check, but when I filed it, there was a lady from Overton County Executive Office called and asked me if I'd filed the report, and I said, yes, ma'am, I did. She says, well, I can't give you anything because you won't agree to close the case, and TBI now has the case. Okay. The call come in late in the evening, so I called the next morning to make sure that the call was authentic. Then I proceeded to call TBI, and they said they didn't have the case, hadn't even heard of it. They combed through the computers. I called the governor's office, TBI, FBI. I mean, I put in calls to everybody. So David Roush called me from TBI, and I told him, what had happened. He said, well, I'll have one of my guys call you. I said, okay, thank you. So the following week, this lady didn't work in Overton County, but one day a week, she'd come in from Nashville, but she had been raised in that area. And she called me. She said, do you care to tell me what your problems are with the case? I said, well, the first one is going to be, I said, it's obvious the boy didn't do it. I said, second, why would you have a detective investigating the case that is the homeowner's nephew? I said, isn't that a conflict of interest? So we talked back and forth, and when she got ready to hang up, she said, I am the attorney for Overton County. I wouldn't have had no problem telling her the same thing had she told me who she was initially. But Roush had some guy, first I talked to a guy out of Chattanooga, which I still have all the phone numbers to the people that I actually talked to. His name was Wilkins.
Okay, so Lisa.
Yes.
Okay, before you go on with that, let me just say, the letter that was sent that I was about to read, this is from the district attorney general's office.
Yes, ma'am.
He said, please be advised that the district attorney general's office has reviewed the investigative file on the above referenced case, and after reviewing the file and considering the facts and circumstances, I am requesting that your file be closed and your investigation resources applied to other cases. Now, this was a year and a half, almost a year and a half after your son died, after the coroner ruled it suicide. Should other evidence be developed, your file should be recoverable from archives or storage, at which point the case could be reopened. As always, thank you for your diligent work on this case. Now, my question to you is this. If it was ruled a suicide, why would the case still be open as of October 13th, 2020?
But I asked him. I can't honestly answer that. But when Dennis Farrier got involved, which was early last year, up until that point, they have some of Aaron's belongings. They have his wallet.
Which
and
you never got back.
No, ma'am. And when the Dennis Farrier had told me to file another FOIA with him, I filed it. On July the 26th of last year, 22, my daughter received the thumb drive that had everything, all the interviews on it and everything. And that is when we got the letter that you have. We had never been notified. Actually, for some reason, Dunaway had called me. And I asked him, I said, well, can I have my son's wallet? He said, you cannot have anything unless you agree to close the case. I said, hell will freeze over before I agree to close that case. I said, because he didn't do it. I said, but since I have you on the phone, I said, I have some statements, if you'd care to look at them, that proves Aaron didn't do it. He asked if I would meet with this detective. I said, I sure will. And no time in our conversation did he bother to tell me that case was closed.
Okay, can I ask you, you said the week before Aaron died, what conversation did you have with Aaron? And when you tell me that, then I want Terry Lynn to interject because she has some information about some stuff as well. So what was the conversation you had with Aaron the week before was it a week or week and a half before?
It was actually 8 days. It was on a Thursday.
Okay.
He was actually in Nashville and he called me from his dad's phone. We had our normal little conversation. You know, in the months leading up to his death, he started telling me some things that I found virtually, I just didn't believe it was possible.
Okay.
And, you know, we'd been talking 15, 20 minutes. He said, Mama, he says, if something were to happen to me, he said, call Overton County Sheriff's Department and ask for Detective Derek Sidwell.
Sidwell, yep. Okay.
Yes. So I said, Aaron, are you working for the Sheriff's Department? He said, Mama, I'm trying to help Vicky, my cousin. She'd got a manufacturing charge, and they had him telling how much dope they were selling in that house, who they were selling it to. No, and that was the only place. And I told him, I said, Aaron, I said, she wouldn't do it for you. He said, but Mama, she's family. I've got to do it. And I told you a lot of the things he told me before, and I told him, I said, Aaron, I said, why don't you just leave? I said, just pack your stuff and leave. He said, Mama, they won't let me. And I said, who won't let you? He said, the cops. And, I knew he was in trouble. I knew it was bad after him telling me about the police officer and Rascal asking him to do something that went totally against Aaron's moral beliefs.
What did they ask Aaron to do?
Yeah.
Aaron had to go to Nashville once a month over his foot. He'd been in a wreck. It never would heal. They put cadaver bones in and graft skin. It never would heal.
That's why he wore the bandage, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He didn't like, he was so meticulous. He didn't like he didn't like his socks stained. So
Okay.
that's why he wore that bandage under there.
Okay.
They had asked him to kidnap 9 and 10-year-old girls out of Nashville. And he said, hell no. And they said, well, if you tell anything you've seen, we showed you. They threatened, his family.
But what did they show him? Tell them what they
Yes.
showed him.
Oh,
Please.
Aaron, only thing I could figure out how he got drug into this is his sheer size. And Aaron was strong. He was buff.
Yeah, I see the pictures, and yeah.
Yeah, he was a big man.
Mhm.
And they had they had put a hood over his head, took him for a ride, put him in a boat. They went out to an island. And they walked him up in the woods. They pulled the hood off. And he said, Mama, he said there was blue barrels, 55-gallon drums. He said, Mama, there was kids in them, shackled. He said there was just rows of them. And when he told me about,
Okay, I'm here.
go ahead.
No, YouTube just came up and said they were having trouble connecting. It's back. It's not my internet, it's YouTube. So, okay, so they had taken Aaron on a boat, you told me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He didn't know what direction he was going in, but it was close to Dale Hollow Lake. You got the Cumberland River, and many, little tributaries that come off of those. So he didn't know exactly where it was at. But Aaron had a strong voice. And all his years, when he told me what he saw, his voice broke. His heart was broken. It was shattered. And
What did he see?
young kids. No, I'm not talking about 9, 10-year-olds. I'm talking younger than that.
Mm-hmm.
They were in barrels, chained, and they were feeding them drugs.
They were getting them hooked on dope. You said they were
Yes.
55 blue 55 barrel buried half in the ground, shackled.
Yes.
And they were feeding them
Come here.
drugs.
Come right here.
And then Aaron was dead within a week, correct?
Something like that. But it was after they had took him to that island when they asked him to kidnap the young girls. And when he said no, when he called me, he said, Mama, he said, what do I do? I said, call the cops. He said, I can't. One of them is the cop. He gave me the cop's name, and I've never mentioned it. I know it. And there was a second, let's say, run-in with this same cop. And I knew he was in trouble. And, I was raised in the area. I walked to school, to kindergarten by myself. It just didn't register that a piece of heaven had turned into something like this. Aaron was killed 10 minutes from where he was born.
Okay. Lisa, I want you to, I really want to show this picture of Aaron so they can see what you're talking, but I don't want you to see it. No, I'm not going to show it. No.
Yes, you're well. I have seen all of these photos. It's the only way, if people can see what was done, how Aaron looked before. Aaron didn't look like, he didn't look like, the man in that casket did not look like my son. he left behind 2 small kids, 8-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old son. So Aaron wasn't, any pictures you look at Justice for Aaron Shane Key, there's photos of him with babies. He loved his nieces and nephews, his kids. He idolized kids. There was a special connection. And when they asked him to kidnap young kids,
Why
you
did
know,
you put the sunglasses on Aaron, Lisa? Because the other
because
picture shows his eyes.
his eyes were tore up too bad.
I know. I saw that.
Um,
That's the one I don't want to show.
And the left eyeball, where it was ruptured, you could actually
You
see,
can see
like,
the bruising. I saw all of that right here.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
you
saw
know,
it.
with the thing with the autopsy report is something that never dawned on me. Had those puppies done that damage to him, there would have been teeth marks and puncture wounds.
And there was no puncture wounds mentioned on the autopsy report
No.
at all. And the dogs, Terry Lynn, do you have the dogs handy so you can show these little small puppies? Because I have so many photos. But I want you to tell them about what you know about the trafficking that's going on there, please.
Well, I had known of this house.
No, Lisa, no. I want Terry Lynn.
Oh,
yeah, Terry
okay.
Lynn. Yeah.
All right.
I just know, and everything I have to say is alleged, which I don't like to say that, but everything I know that I have to say, it's alleged.
We get it. It's alleged.
And I know that Bryant Clyde Dunaway does take orders from a higher official. I know that. I do. And there's also Dixie Mafia ties.
Yes.
Yes,
ma'am.
Alleged. We weren't going to bring that up, but alleged. Okay.
I said alleged. I said alleged. I said alleged. All alleged. And they're all involved. Now, to prove it, you got to break down some things. That's like,
Carolyn, tell me about the waterways that we talked about earlier and how they're getting these kids in and out of there.
The water, that's so easy.
It's is.
So the water it's so easy. If you pay attention, you can go to the fishermen's sites, you can go anywhere you want. Look at the currents, look at anything, period. The water, it's right there. Yeah. You can get the
nobody monitors the waterways.
Okay.
They don't. And they'll let
there's a question, and I didn't ask you that when we talked, but so who cut? No, you did say who cut Aaron down.
Actually, now I will tell you guys. I have the thumb drive. All this stuff is on. I've been told 2 different people cut him down. Mm-hmm. Rascal and another young man that's he's off in jail somewhere. And for which one, I don't know exactly, but my theory is Aaron, when cops arrived, Aaron was laying on his left side in a curled up fetal position on the ground. His pants were unbuckled. His belt was unbuckled. His pants were undone. And he looked like he had been dumped out of a chair, is the way it looked. But the rope I have, my section, is 47 inches long. Mm-hmm. What were in the photos, it hung down around his breast, real low. They couldn't have been no more than 30 inches. So you got 77 inches of rope. That is the puppy. Yeah.
That's the puppy that caused all the damage.
And you notice there's no blood on that puppy's face.
No blood on the puppy's face at all. Okay.
No.
That's the puppy. So
and go ahead.
Okay, so let me ask you. So his girlfriend before we get there, his girlfriend was arrested, correct?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. She was arrested
for murder.
Well, now there was a lady that has come forward and talked to me. I won't reveal her name.
Okay.
She had been put in jail for contempt of court. She's a minister. When they brought her in, she is squalling and bawling, and she said they charged me with murdering my boyfriend.
But she was never charged with it. That's what she told somebody. That she
yes, but there was supposed to, you go to these little convenience stores, you see these little booklets or who's been arrested in your area.
Mm-hmm.
Her face was on one of those books with murder charge, but it's all vanished.
Okay, so Aaron, 6'5", 6'6", 240, 240, 246. You're not going to cut him down, and he's not going to land on his side, curled up in the fetal position.
No.
It's going to take, just like Crying Red said, at least 3 to 4 people. First of all, how did Aaron get up there?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That means that they would have to have a ladder to get to him.
There were no.
Said that Bryant Clyde Donaway showed up at the scene with the sheriff, right? But the sheriff never got out the car.
He had Detective Randall Flayton with him.
Okay, Detective Randall Flayton with him, but the detective never got out the car.
He didn't get out of that. My husband said he didn't see him get out of that car.
Okay, but before that,
but he was there, okay. So I don't know.
But the ambulance driver, the ambulance showed up. She went to the barn, and then she left. Is that correct?
She put a monitor on him. If you'll notice on the autopsy report, it says systolic / PEA. She took the monitor off of him, and my husband was running behind her saying, "Hey, aren't you going to try to help him? Aren't you going to help him?" And, the cop was there, but at that time they wouldn't let his dad near him. But she never tried to do CPR. She never tried to administer the adrenaline shot. But
how long had Aaron been on the ground? You said that Aaron had been. Okay, here's what I'm confused about. Your husband dropped him off. He was going to be back in 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes or less, he got the call. Aaron was deceased.
Right.
You said they left Aaron laying on the ground for 8 hours?
Yes, ma'am. Uncovered.
Why?
My theory, in the photos I believe I sent you, you'll see, and actually some police officers pointed this out to me. There was something I'd never heard of. There was a makeshift funnel on the ground. Consisted of a tube like an IV tube, a little bit bigger, and a white cup. I didn't think much about it, but when a ex-police officer actually out of Overton County, Putnam County, saw it, he called me. He said, "Have you ever heard of funneling?" I said, "No." He said, "Well," he said, up in that area, he said, when I worked there, he said if they knew or they didn't want a patient to live, they would funnel alcohol into them, and if they were unconscious, it would cause cardiac arrest.
Stop right there. On his autopsy report, it says, let me tell you what his stomach contents were, people. The stomach contains 90 milliliters of dark brown liquid.
Right. It did, and it doesn't say anything about any food. So
no food, no nothing.
They never took the body temperature.
I
Excuse
do have
me?
a question. I have a
Yes, ma'am.
question. Before he left, do you had he eaten? Had he eaten
I
anything?
have I have no idea.
I would have
That was
thought he
him.
would have ate. It's 5 something. This is a big man. You know, it's
Yes.
5 something in the evening after. He had to have something in his stomach. Seriously.
That's my whole point. I wanted to ask her that last night, and I forgot because I was going down my own rabbit hole with all this.
Okay, Terry Lynn,
And
could you come on camera, please? Because Kayla is walking back and forth. She's doing some
yeah,
stuff.
I got it. Okay, let me make sure none of mine are coming.
Okay, thank
none of
you.
mine are coming.
Okay, I'd like.
Um,
Is there
yes.
even his DNA? Okay, I love this lady's question.
The
Yeah, I was going to get it, but she got it first. Go ahead.
When the autopsy report come back, I called the detective at Overton County Sheriff's Department, and I told him, I said, I just said this. I hope your report says more than what mine does. I said, because it's not telling much. And I said, what do you think about it? He says, well, I'm not making any assumption until the report on the rope comes back. I said, okay. We roughly about a week later, may have been a little longer than that, the ADA, Mark Gore, called me, and we were talking back and forth. I was asking my questions. At first, he was pretty patient, but he started losing his cool with me. And he said, look, he says, you ain't got any choice in accepting whatever I decide. I said, so you guys decided it was suicide while he's laying on the ground.
Mhm.
Oh, and he was hollering by this point, but I said, oh, I have one more question. He said, well, what is it? I said, what was in the report on the rope? He said, there's no such report. We don't do that in suicides. Well, I said, you know what? I said, it's funny. I said, because I have a recording between me and your detective saying that he was waiting on the report on that rope. He hung up on me, and he never talked to me again. So they didn't. My theory is this: if you look at that rope is tied by a left-handed person. I don't think the portion of rope I don't believe Aaron's DNA is on it. They will be on the bottom part because it was laid next to his skin. You know, it actually touched the back of his neck. But now this is the thing. You put together 47 inches of rope, 37. Aaron's 6'6". His feet would have been over 4 feet in the air. They could have not got to him to cut him down. There were no ladders. Yes, go ahead.
What did the girlfriend say to him?
I was told she knew he was leaving her, and she said she put the rope around his neck. She said, now what? Now what? Another girl told me that she said, you gone now, you son of a bitch.
And did you decide to do anything inside that home?
Law enforcement never entered the house, period. Aaron was killed at the front door. I was told initially there was a fight broke out in the kitchen. He went in there to ask Russell for his money that he had loaned him on the second. Fight broke out. He walked to the front door, asked Hack for his money. Hack laughed at him. And they said Aaron leaned down and headbutted Hack. Hack went to the floor. He looked up and said, big boy, you screwed up. He said, rascal's fixing to kill you. And Aaron was hit. They said he was hit once in the back of the head. He dropped to all fours. He looked up, and that's when they hit him on the right side of his face. And he was down then.
What all did they use to hit him with? Do you remember, or do you know?
Oh yeah, they have a it's a metal pipe that's got concrete in it, and it's got a washer on the end of it. They protected that thing. I mean, it was like a prize to them. And I have as several people that had seen it, and one of the girls actually come out of the room with it on a guy, but what he had convinced her not to use that pipe. But it's somewhat about the size of a broom handle maybe, and then it's got like a pipe run up in it, but the end has got concrete in it, or that's what I'm told. Now I have not seen it. I can't absolutely say that's the truth, but
Okay.
that is the story that I have gotten repeatedly.
I'm looking for his blood alcohol concentration on this report, and normally it's right there. Okay, I'm looking for it. So it says toxicology, expanded blood profile positive for ethanol and amphetamines, not is 28 ng milliliter. Yeah, so that's it, and just ethanol. So the girlfriend gave a statement and said that Aaron was drunk. Did your husband see Aaron?
Yeah, well, see, when Aaron, when he got to his dad around 10 a.m., so they spent roughly 7 hours together. Aaron had a half pint in his back pocket. The detective told me that when he arrived, he still had over half of that half pint still in his back pocket.
Okay.
So Aaron was not drunk when he was dropped off. Aaron drank vodka. He didn't drink brown liquor.
So let me tell you about this autopsy report. It's a contradiction within itself. In one part, it states, I'm going to tell you what it says, and then I'm going to read the other part to you, okay? One part, it says that there is methamphetamine in his system, okay? Then you come down and you read the summary of the case. It says toxicology shows ethanol and amphetamine. Nothing but methamphetamine, okay? Nothing.
Exactly. And there's, you can buy like Sudafed and stuff like that over the counter that registers as meth. A lot of people fail drug tests, on their probation because of Sudafed, they've took for colds and stuff. But I mean, I knew there wasn't a lot there when I looked for the body temperature. Of course,
there was no body temperature on here at all. There are no x-rays taken of the body. And then it says there's a faint purple ligature mark around the skin. The ligature provided with the body is 5/8 inch wide, double braided white rope, which has previously been cut.
The rope was not white. I have it.
I know it's not white. I know.
And if you look at the one rope, when with Aaron's,
I have the rope. Let me put the rope.
With Aaron's size, when he stepped off whatever he supposedly stepped off of.
You gotta take the comments.
Yes, I said ethanol.
Yeah, but if you notice that rope, how bad it's raveled.
Yeah.
I was told that a rope, when it's cut with a knife, should ravel no more than a couple of inches because they're. But if you look at next to that beam, that rope never cinched up to the beam. But the thing is, with the rope I have, what was supposedly they had cut him down with, they could have not got to Aaron to have cut him down. There wasn't enough rope.
Yep. So he had alcohol in his system. Ethanol is alcohol. Yes, he had alcohol in his system.
Yes, it is.
It's not lazy cops. It's not lazy cops. This is the 13th judicial system. They don't give exams. It's called a cover-up. It's what's called.
No.
And there's a reason.
You know,
Promise.
when the first time I officially met the detective face to face, I'd saved a question I wanted to see his reaction. And I walked in. Actually, I was wearing one of Aaron's shirts. And, you know, we had our little nicey-niceys. And I said, well, I have a question for you. He said, yeah, what is it? I said, Aaron called me and told me that anything happened to him, to call up here and ask for you, and you would explain everything to me that was going on. I said, was Aaron working for you? He put his hands behind his head, leaned back in his chair, and grinned. He never said yes, and he never said no.
Okay. Here's another picture. This is Aaron. This is his wrist. This is in his coffin. This is his wrist. You can see this is clearly broken.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you look in front of that, it looks like teeth marks, maybe.
Right here. I'm looking.
Yeah, right here in the front of it.
Yep, right there.
Yeah.
Yep, right there.
But you know,
So
it's hard. You know, go
okay,
ahead.
Stop. Okay. Aaron was right-handed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but the knot was tied. It was a left-handed tied knot.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you coming down here? Hold on. Come on.
And Aaron, me and you know, I played basketball. Aaron played basketball. My daughter played. The one thing I could never teach him was to dribble a basketball left-handed. He couldn't do nothing with his left hand except maybe take wax off a car. And there's no way Aaron could have tied a slip knot with his left hand. It's not possible.
Okay, let's just make this clear.
Okay.
So Bryant Clyde Dunaway showed up at the crime scene.
At a supposed suicide.
At a supposed suicide. Now, I was told, talking to several people, he's only showed up to another crime scene that they know of. And what crime scene was that, T.L.?
That was in Crossville at the shootout.
It was in
Cumberland County.
True.
Is that right?
It was. I know Crossville. I knew it was the one other scene, and it was Crossville.
That was.
And I'm like,
that's after Aaron. That was after Aaron died, because I asked him. I said, the DAs normally come out to suicides. They said this one. They said Dunaway didn't come out to nothing, but initially we were. They said Dunaway. They said he wasn't there. Well, when I got the police report,
he was there because his name.
Oh yeah,
the police report.
Yeah, he was there.
And
I'm gonna tell you why he was there.
That was there on the scene. I have that police report.
Yeah.
So he was.
Y'all want to know why he was there?
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you why he was there. Tell you why he was there. Drugs.
Why?
Allegedly, and in my opinion, because
the house is a known drug house since the 70s.
I'm gonna tell you why he was there. That's why he was there.
This guy,
our county is my county. That's why he was there.
This guy, I've given him this particular guy, this house, his son. I'm going to tell you how lax they are with this bunch.
Mm-hmm.
He had a wreck in Jackson County, and broke his legs. He had 2 8-balls on him. They wrote him a ticket. He never even went to court never even showed up in court. They'll put him in a little bit, pull him out. He had 4 or 5 DUIs since Aaron passed away. None of them, drug dealers in that district, it's in and out. It's like a revolving door.
And there's a reason.
Oh yeah, there's 100% a reason.
But guys, I'm gonna ask you. I mean, everybody that's here, from everything you've heard, and if anybody wants the autopsy report, I have it. I can send it to you. From everything you've heard, and I sent it to Rhodey. There is no way, in my opinion, this was a suicide at all. Just from
No.
reading it, there is no way, in my opinion, this man committed S.
No.
Now, what Lisa did tell me is back in 2000, Aaron had tried to
when he was 21.
when he tried to hang himself before, right?
Yeah,
And everybody knew it, right?
Yes, ma'am. He'd been married, and he married a girl that was a lot younger than him, but he was crazy over her, and she was too young, and he left, and it broke his heart. I don't think he meant to kill himself. I think he just wanted some attention.
Okay.
But Aaron had the one thing I could say, and unfortunately he gets it from me, if I believe something, I will stand by it. If I stand by myself, he's the same way. And in certain instances, we could use some anger management. I'll put it that way. I wished he took more like his daddy, but Aaron didn't start fights. But I told him, I said, don't never hit nobody first. I said, but don't let them run over you. But I was run over in school, so you got to teach kids, I think, how to take care of themselves. But Aaron loved with a capacity like nobody I'd ever seen. And after that divorce, he got with another good girl, had his kids, and but they never married.
Okay, so let me just say this. I don't know what's going on, but YouTube keeps acting funny right now, and it keeps flashing YouTube is losing connection. So let me just say, when I spoke to you and we were talking, and I was looking at all of these things that happened on Turkey Town Road.
Oh, God.
There are so many incidents on Turkey Town Road.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to cover the case of Caitlin Ledbetter as well.
Okay.
Caitlin, well, I'm not covering it tonight, but I'm going to give you a preface of it. Caitlin Ledbetter knew Aaron by the sheer fact.
There was an encounter.
There was an encounter where she and her dad were getting into it. She ran to the next door neighbor's house. Aaron was there. He wouldn't let the dad take her out the house.
No, she was screaming, "Don't let him take me! Don't let him take me!" So Aaron and Caitlin knew each other. I don't know how well or how long, but the lady that owned the house is the one that told me about it, and Aaron wasn't the one that told me.
Okay, so they did know each other. Now Caitlin is now missing, and okay, she may be doing Joshua as well. Okay, Caitlin is now missing, and there's so many cases on that billboard, but Caitlin was sitting, I think she's next to Joshua
Bohannon.
But Caitlin is missing. So that story is horrible within itself. But supposedly her dad was coming after her. He kicked down the door, maybe allegedly, and for her to get out, she jumped out of a window, which was 7 feet.
Yeah, 7 feet off the ground.
7 feet off the ground.
That is not his. Well, actually, I don't know that his dad's ever told his side of the story to anybody. Most of the story comes from Caitlin's boyfriend's mother. Now, you've seen the photo.
Yeah, I have those photos, but I'm going to cover that another night.
Okay.
But I just wanted to tie, because it seems like there's a connection to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Then with the woman that burned in the house fire on Turkey Hill Road. That was Caitlin's dad's girlfriend at his home.
Yes, ma'am.
And instead of going across, instead of using his phone, a cell phone, or going across the street to a neighbor to call the fire department and 911, he walked a mile down the street to call 911.
Right.
And then the lady said she heard him say, the bitch played with fire.
We can't say that.
Oh yeah, we can't say that. We can't say that. Yeah.
Initially, now this is what I was told from a lady that lives on Turkey Town.
But if we can't say it, don't say it.
Oh, this I can. Well, no, maybe we shouldn't say it.
Yeah,
I'm not going
that.
to. That's a good point. But the thing is, 16 hours before Aaron died, Caitlin went a miss 0.6 of a mile from Aaron toward Highway 85, which would be Overton County. Back down the other way, 16 hours earlier, a friend of mine's boyfriend, her husband, actually did commit suicide. Somebody delivered him some drugs real early in the morning, and he shot himself with a .357, blowed his head off. But I have a set of crime scene photos I would like to send you from Lisa Gail Paul, also killed on suicide on Turkey Town.
There's a lot of stuff on Turkey Town Road. That's why I called it the Tennessee Dark Hole. There's a lot of things that go on Turkey Town Road, and Terry Lynn and I will be getting into those. I'm also going to do Josh. I put Josh up on my community tab. There are 3 videos with his brother speaking when Josh was missing. So we're going to cover those as well. And Lisa, is there anything else you have to say before we get out of here?
Mothers, family members, especially mothers. Mothers tend to know their kids better than anybody. The one thing I will say is Aaron idolized his father.
There we go again.
That was his hero. There's no way on God's green earth he would have ever took a chance and letting his daddy see him like that. And he wouldn't have told his dad to come back. There was no suicide note. And people that commit suicide don't do it where there's a crowd. And, after you hear the 911 tapes in Dennis Ferrier, there was a crowd there. I have the names of everybody there and who did what 4 days after we buried Aaron.
Wait, she's back. I was like,
I'm here. Yeah, YouTube. I'm serious. I don't think YouTube like me discussing this case.
No. I'm going to speak for Dennis. I'm going to speak for Dennis because I'll show you the text if I need to. Dennis did say that this was, in his opinion, not a suicide.
I didn't finish playing. I didn't finish playing. But Dennis said he also told Terry Lynn today that he would come up. He's going through some things right now, but he did say he would be up to discuss some of these cases. And if you guys don't, I gave him credit in the description so you guys can, and the link to his video is there. There's a lot of stuff going on Turkey Town Road. Seriously, when I was talking to Lisa,
but it's not just Turkey. It's the
what I'm saying is not just Turkey Town, but when I typed in Turkey Town Road, all of this stuff came up. And I went, what in the world is going on this street? And it seems like it's the same group of people on the same, and they're all there. Oh, okay, Lisa, they're all there. I'm serious. They're all there. The woman that got burned, that was killed in the house fire. That's Caitlin Ledbetter's father's girlfriend. It's like they're all intertwined some type of way.
Okay. I'm back.
Okay.
She's back.
So I was just saying that just typing in that Turkeytown Road, and that's it just everything just pops up. I'm like, oh God.
You know, there was a house, it's on Benton Tidwell Lane, which is off of Turkeytown. There was a woman naked out there, supposedly hung herself.
Yeah,
it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And but with Joshua Bohannon, there's a new one, Isaac Bowman.
Yeah.
Another girl. They're not getting, these families had to put their own missing loved ones' names and names us themselves.
Yeah, so we're going to we're going to cover one case where a family was actually banned from going to the police station.
I can't, please, can I come on? I want to tell you the story on this one. Okay. You're not going to believe it.
Okay. The family was banned.
Yes.
Terry Lynn has been in contact, and you saw her live today. I was in a meeting and I was kind of listening with these mothers that are not getting the justice that it's Joshua. I wasn't going to say his name because we're going to cover that one. But Terry Lynn, could you, even though I know you went live today, how many more people have contacted you today about?
I've got to make another. I mean, I've got to make more. There's probably, I think, 4 more that I know of.
I will tell you one little tidbit in case I can't come back. Tennessee's Dark Hole was created for families to tell their stories. But initially,
I didn't even know that was a name, Tennessee Dark Hole. I just named it that. Okay.
Oh, no, that's the name of it. I named it that in hope. Well, it was named that in hopes that they wouldn't figure out what was going on in there for a while anyway. So Hillary Poindexter is the administrator creator.
Okay.
Hillary Poindexter is me. My
mother went out again.
My mother was Hilda Poindexter. I knew if I set that group up in my name, they'd shut it down for false information. So I used my mother's name. And in 2 weeks, there was 20 cases in it. 20. And I knew we were all way in over our head. And when I first got told about Dixie Mafia and KKK, allegedly.
Yeah,
I laughed,
allegedly.
Pushed that one out the window.
Allegedly.
It wasn't. Allegedly, she's right, though. Allegedly, I'm going to say she's right. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
So we're going to do whatever case Terry Lynn wants to do next. But I know the next case that we're going to do on my channel is going to be Joshua's story. And Caitlin, I'm going to
thank God. But may I finish my thing? On that ban list, Hillary Poindexter is on that ban list.
You're on the ban list?
Hillary don't exist because Hillary's me. I've never called that department. I've never stepped foot in it. And I thought, all right, you go, guys.
So Hillary Poindexter is banned, and she's never called. And
she don't exist.
Don't exist.
No, she's a ghost warrior.
Damn. Terry Lynn should be banned as much as she calls these people and curses them out.
You
Oh,
know,
no, I'm not. Hey, they know it's me. I've never blocked my number when I've called Sheriff Patrick Ray. How do you sleep at night? Sorry, I'm not going to lie about it. I've called a few of them.
I can tell you,
how to sleep at night. Right?
these people, Dunaway,
Ugh.
if you look in his eyes,
Bryant Clyde Dunaway. Okay.
there's nothing there. There's
No,
nothing
I
there.
got a good picture of him. Now, you guys
Oh,
just met.
He's left-handed.
A lot of people are left-handed, but okay.
No, and I'm talking about at that crime scene, Aaron's crime scene.
I know. So
I know the ones that were left-handed there.
Oh, God.
I know it. Yeah.
You can't accuse the district attorney.
I can say I didn't accuse him. I just stated he was left-handed. But they can sue me. Then we can put everybody on the witness stand and have a good time. These families have been done dirtier than.
I know my mods are in here, and I know they saw that comment, so I just got rid of that. That was disgusting.
What was it?
Don't worry about it.
Well, my thing is, if they've got something to say to me, they're welcome to say it to me. I'm a grown woman. I've had death threats. I even had one, you probably wouldn't believe it if you read it. They actually threatened to steal my son's body.
I read it.
Put his children in a hole with him. I know in my heart, I know who sent it.
I read
I know in my heart.
That was disgusting as hell. I did read it.
Yeah, it was. It was.
It was.
But
it was disgusting.
They revealed a whole lot about them. It took me a year to figure out. But if they're making remarks about me, have at it, baby. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Sherry's got that you've gotten, like some of the same crap that you've gotten. But I'm going to say, and I can say this, trash dug through, home broken into, threats, a lot more. And you know what? I'm still going. So, and that's why I said, you're going to get threats. You are going to be threatened. That's a fact. Because if I'm fighting for justice, you're going to be threatened. They're sick people that want to silence you, and they're going to try that.
Yeah. Well, somebody somewhere down the line, we got so busy in the hustle bustle of everyday life, we quit holding our elected officials accountable. Mm-hmm. And now we're playing catch up.
Damn right. And it's our elected officials that are part of the problem, that are part of this. And that's the sickest part of it all. Is that allegedly, I'm telling you all that it is the higher up officials that are part of this. It's disgusting. It's sick. So parents can't get justice because they're all being sold out and bought.
Yes. Yeah. But, what's done in the dark comes to light. Every dog has his day. And when you kick a dog long enough, that dog's going to bite. Mm-hmm. So, in Aaron's case, all I've ever asked for is to get his death certificate changed for his kids. They deserve to know their dad didn't leave by his own hand. Aaron wasn't a choir boy, but he was a human being. I believe every human being, no matter what the walk of life is, what they've done in their past, they're still a human. And they deserve to be treated as that. My son was treated no better than a tin can tossed out on the side of the road. They took his dignity. They didn't respect him. They didn't bother covering him up. I wonder how they'd feel if somebody done their child that way.
I still want you to, I'm trying to understand, why did they leave him on the ground for 8 hours uncovered? That makes no sense. Was the medical examiner on vacation? The truck broke down?
No. Oh, now here's the thing, and you guys, everybody in Tennessee needs to know this.
Y'all do need to hear
In
her.
Tennessee, if you have a high school diploma and you're not a felon or a equivalent, you can be a county medical examiner. Now, when you and if you'll notice at the top of one of those pages I sent you, there was like a small, like may have been like a Post-it note that had been copied to it that told this medical examiner about puppies at the scene. And or he wouldn't have known about the puppies. So if you have unqualified cops stating the cause of death, then we don't need the medical examiners. Just that's wasting taxpayers' money. Get rid of them. Are you gone again?
I think she is going out.
Yeah, she did. Oh, okay. I can hear you.
Oh, I'm muted. I'm sorry.
There you are.
What are you doing? I was
Okay,
like,
Lisa, what I'm trying to understand is if they're saying that there was puppy, so they called the ambulance came, they left, they left them on the ground in a fetal position. What took them 8 hours to pick up your son? Did you ever ask that?
No, actually, I have a theory with that, but I don't know that I have some theories and they may be way off, but I wondered why his pants and his belt were undone. They hadn't been changed. And
but his shirt was changed.
Yes.
And his shoes.
And his shoes. Now, in the Karen's interview, she stated that Aaron was pushing her off with his feet and hands. That would have tore his neck all to pieces. And in the curled up fetal position, his belt undone, there's a trauma nurse from Vanderbilt contacted me and asked me if I'd heard of butt chugging. No.
We don't know.
And she told me, she said if they want to get drunk really fast, that they will do that, put it up their rectum. And she said it goes straight into their blood system because it does not have to be metabolized.
Yeah, college kids do that too.
I've never heard, I'm old. I've never heard of that stuff.
I'm old. I've never heard of that. But I have a question. I think you can answer this question or not if you're allowed to. Remember we spoke about, you were supposed to call this certain detective, right?
Right.
Where is that detective now?
Detective Derek Sidwell died September the 9th, 2020. Fully vaccinated. He died on the ventilator. Perfectly healthy. 4 people involved in my son's death
have now been.
They're deceased.
They're not here anymore. 4 people. And the one person that she was supposed to get in contact with is no longer
now dead. Yeah, I went to school with Derek's parents. They were good. I can say that they were honestly good people, but our kids, kids a lot of times do things parents never know about. And Aaron, like I said, wasn't a choir boy. He'd had his run-ins with the law, but he had moral boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And
now, I got one more question. Did you trust Detective Sidwell? Did you trust him?
Hell no. There's not one in the district I trust.
That's one thing I wanted to ask you was, would you have really gone to him and asked him any of those questions? Just curious.
I asked him the one question I wanted to face. He didn't answer, but I got my answer. Sometimes silence speaks more than words. When you got somebody sitting there with an arrogant smile on their face because they know there's no way on God's green earth you can get into CI files. You can't even subpoena CI files. So, but I believe initially, I believe the reason they called Dunaway, I believe that initially they were going to go at it as murder. And when they seen how many was there, you know, the cost to prosecute that many people would have been huge.
Right.
That makes
And
no sense, Lisa. I mean, if I'm serious, I would be standing there and I want to know who cut my son down. Nothing shows me in none of the police reports who cut him down. It would take 3 to 4 people to cut this man down.
actually, I don't.
More than that.
You know, I don't think that could have handled it. I know of 5 people. See, the police never went inside the house.
Yeah,
They
yeah. See,
never.
that's the thing.
Actually, they one of the officers wrote out Hack Cox's report, went and knocked on the door, and asked him to come outside to sign the report. If they'd have went in the house, they would have smelt the bleach.
Well, they figured the crime scene was outside. That's the problem. Everything was outside. But
if they had went in the house,
his belongings in a room there are in that house.
No, his belongings, they took and put them in the shed, his suitcases. I have the suitcases.
Right. But he still had a room there. They should have went in the house.
Yes, they should have. But they never separated the people. They were under the little carport thing there at the front of the house. They they hand wrote his dad's statement and put stuff in the statement his dad said he didn't say.
Usually they let the dad. That's crazy.
Yeah.
My other question, I want one more. Okay, he told you to go to this detective.
Right.
What would have made him trust that detective when you're not trusting that man? Why would he have at that time, at any point, thought that that man was going to be of help to him? That is just burning my guts out, because this is
the only thing I can think of is, like I said, his cousin. If you check her record, she's got an extensive record, conviction for manufacturing and buying Sudafed, and she's lost a truck in a couple of states. And the only thing is, he believed that they were going to help her. That's why he put his faith in him.
Now I'm going to go here. Would that detective be involved in showing him those children as well?
The one that he never told me who took him. He never told me that, because initially when he started telling me things, I couldn't fathom it. It just, it didn't make sense to me. But when he told me he was living there, I told him, I said, son, get your stuff and get out of there. He said, well, there's no place I can stay. And I call her Hoham Karen, can stay there. I don't care for rent, sue me. I ain't got nothing. She's promiscuous.
I've seen her.
And one of the guys, if you go into Tennessee, not to Justice for Aaron Shane Key, there's part 6 where I listed, it was called a Wall of Shame. That was what I called it. Wall of Shame. I listed every one of them. They would call me, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. And the one, I have a statement. They swore he wasn't there, even had his aunt lie for him. That police report come in. I cut it out and I put it on Facebook. I said, now what? But two of the people that were involved in Aaron's death were kin to him. They were cousins.
Now,
Yeah.
right.
So
And what when you were writing those segments that you wrote, there was something about taking him out from the door.
okay, Aaron was they killed him right at the front door. They carried him down into the basement. In the crime scene photos, you could see dried, smeared blood. He was laying on and right down in his hairline next to his ear. Corpses don't bleed when the blood's been cut off. And on his face, you could see like finger marks across his face through dried blood in the crime scene photos. These people, when I filed a FOIA, they sent us that thumb drive, and when Lanessa said, my daughter said, well, Mama, they didn't send the crime scene photos. I got on the phone, called up there, and I talked to the same girl I always talk to, Angela Searcy. And I said, well, the crime scene photos are not in there. She said, we don't release those. I said, well, is that state law or federal law? She said, it's neither. She said, it's office policy. So they have no problem violating federal law. But we had seen them, but I believe, all the photos will do is prove everything I've said is true, which lends credibility to me. And I think that's the main thing, is they don't want that. But one thing too, when Karen said Aaron was flopping around, pushing her off with his hands and feet, that pair of boots he had on that come all the way up to his knee were size 13. They were laced all the way down. There were only 2 sets of eyes with the strings in them. Those boots would have fell off his feet. They wouldn't have stayed on because they would have been too heavy. But they did not return the white shirt that was in the crime scene photos. That didn't come to us. And when I told them, I said, his clothes have been changed. They look like ghosts. So, has she thought of filing a civil suit against the county sheriff's department? I believe the statute of limitations is run, maybe? Hello? Everybody gone? Okay.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Terry Lynn dropped.
This pretty young lady here, Tennessee had on a wrongful death, you have 1129. Unless new evidence comes in after the case is closed, then the statute of limitations starts again.
Okay, and you need to have 3 official statements to get your son's death certificate.
That's
changed,
that's
right?
that's what I'm working on for his kids. I don't know if they thought I was going to sue for money. Money's not everything to everybody. We were a very close, tight-knit family. My boys were so close to me, they talked about their sexual experiences. And, we were a very, very tight family, played basketball together. We done everything together. And he just, Aaron had a savior complex. He thought he could save her. You can't save somebody that don't want saved.
Now, okay, so I just want to make sure that we state this also. But you said the night before, Aaron had given his girlfriend his last $200
to get her medicine.
Okay.
She come home with liquor and meth. He got mad and went to bed. Got up the next morning, packed his stuff, had Hack take him over. He was done. He had come in on the 3rd. Aaron would go out, he could roof, he could do anything he wanted to. I mean, artistic, he could sing, play ball, mechanic. There wasn't nothing he couldn't do. And when he run out of money, she was anybody's dog to hunt with her. And he come in and he caught her and Rascal in a compromising position. There was a fight broke out over that. But her story was they were there by themselves. He come in, grabbed, they got in a fight. He smacked her. She said she flew across the couch and hit her head on the table or something. When I was in there, there was no place that could have happened. And then she said he went in the bedroom, got the rope that had been hanging on the wall, grabbed her by the hand and said, "Here, you're going to watch this." She grabbed a chair that was sitting 25, 30 feet away from that building and supposedly sat there and watched it. But the cops say in the 911 call, you can hear her talking with the girl that was on the phone with the 911 operator. One of the cops that arrived there, I have his name, he said he arrived, she was laying on top of Aaron, squalling in the shed. Unless there's twins, that's a load of crap. I mean, there's just holes all in it. It's crazy. The thing, Aaron, I've never portrayed him as a choir boy. He had a lot of run-ins with the law, but nothing serious. He had a good heart. The run-ins he had with the law, they knew Aaron wasn't one capable. He didn't want to hurt him. And I never knew of one, but one he didn't like. He had respect for the law. And there, there's questions we'll never know the answers to. But I have a lady tell me his last words, he hollered, "Mama." And
was there somebody at the scene that told you his last words were "Mama"?
I had several tell me that. But these people are so afraid of the law. But sometimes somebody's got to stand up, Yes. I would never let anybody go through what I've had to go through. If I hated them, I couldn't do that. And I wouldn't wish what I've gone through on Bryant Dunaway. It's inhumane.
Karma's a bitch, though.
Yeah, obviously 4 of them's done gone. I'm just wondering which one's next. But I believe God has brought an awful lot of strong people together. Courtney Cash's mom, Joshua's family. We've got the Gainesboro 4. It's a different district, but it's all goes together.
Okay.
And I mean, you've got some people. We've got one girl in the group been fighting for over 30 years. Gainesboro 4's 20. And when you fight inside one district 9-10 years, you can't expect to get justice inside that district because obviously it goes higher. And then until people realize that, sometimes, starting low and trying to go up obviously don't work, or we wouldn't be where we are. But, you got to follow the money because there's a deputy that works, the same deputy that asked Aaron to kidnap these kids. I believe they make $35,000 a year in these little small counties. I want to know. I need to take money management classes from this man because he drives an $80,000 Corvette and got all kinds of other stuff. All people have to do is look around. Math don't lie. That's it. I know. You can say it and fool yourself and say, oh, they're crazy. This is just a bunch of grief-stricken mamas. That's not what it is at all. There's just, I mean, it's the 13th district. It got 13 for a reason. It really did.
And what Susie says right here about wish you could get the story on ID channel. I can tell you where all Lauren Agee's stories have been all over. The last I think was on MTV. Okay, it is not lit shit. I wished it would. I've been out there on that square, and if you all have ever been out there on the square with these mothers, I'm out there on that square, and what you feel watching you is crazy. You can feel the eyes peering at you from inside these buildings, and they don't want you. They don't want your asses there.
What gets me is, and that's what you're speaking about. You've got mothers inside those buildings that work in those buildings, know what's going on, and let all these other mothers out there have to bury their children, bury children that don't look like their children, bury just a fraction of who the people were. And they won't write missing persons reports. Tell a family, well, he's missing because he wants to be missing. We're not wasting manpower and resources. I mean, have you looked at the 13th district's what is that? A violent crimes task force?
Yep, we're gonna that is gonna be included as well.
Most of these folks ain't missed no meals.
No, that's gonna be included as well. Also, Mr. Bryant Clyde Dunaway, his properties and everything else. Is his family rich?
I don't, I don't know. I never, like I said, I left that area in the 80s. And like I said, I just couldn't believe it. But I don't know any of them personally. I knew of one officer from the area, but he's passed away besides Derek. I try not to badmouth Derek. I don't know if there's something I just feel's not right about his death.
Well, out of 4 people that were involved with your son's death, and all 4 of them are dead, I would find that to be that's kind of weird.
But and he left behind a beautiful little girl. But I try.
Your granddaughter is gorgeous. Thank you for that picture. I will not share it. She is gorgeous. And
she looks just
daughter dance, right? Or did she go to the father-daughter dance?
She did. That was the one time I snapped and posted on Dunaway's page. Glad you could take your daughters to the father-daughter dance. My granddaughter won't never know that. And
she looked beautiful in that dress. She really did.
Both of the kids, he has the son. He's 15. 15. And the boy's done 5'10". Aaron wasn't that tall at 15. Aaron grew a foot in 1 year. So
my son did too. I looked up and I went, "Who is that coming through my door?" He just shot up overnight. So yeah.
But there's just too many families. One of my, when I gets down to a serious problem, is unqualified law enforcement determining causes of death.
I've never heard of that before.
And protocols. These people up in there don't know proper protocols. There's a video of Overton County. They went into somebody's house for some reason. The lady has a seizure of some kind. The law enforcement does not know how to administer CPR. They make everybody else that was sitting there just sit there, and finally one lady says, "Will you let me help her?" But it was too late. You know, she died needlessly.
Tell them the damn truth. Jeremy Taylor, he had never worked a homicide. He had no training, none, and
Yes.
cases. Period. Never. He'd been promoted, and never. But he was allowed to be there.
Well,
The sheriff
Lisa,
went on his way.
I'm just going to say that you and I are going to have further conversations, Lisa. We are. But this is
is that one lady, Dr. Lady, still in here?
no, she was out. She's out of class. She was teaching,
Darn.
and she thought she was going to be finished by the time I was going up, and that's why she couldn't connect. She was still on her business.
We have, maybe Terry can answer. We have I have several cases that's behind the scenes that haven't been put out in group, and this is something. One of a guy that supposedly committed suicide shot himself in the right temple. They said it bounced around in his head, exited the other side. A .45 caliber. That
is impossible for a .45 caliber to do that. It's going to blow anyway.
That's set real. It's you know, when she told me that, I'm like, wait a minute, because I know a .22, because they don't have so much powder in them, they will do that. But I want to send you a set of crime scene photos that were taken by the same detective that took Aaron's. I want to see what you guys think on them. I may be wrong, but I knew the person in the photos personally. Very short stature, heavy. There's a lot of things in the photos don't look right. But see, they released those crime scene photos, but they won't release Aaron's. So
see, I don't understand that. I've never even heard of that. Never.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they're not afraid of violating federal law. And if you're not afraid to violate a federal law, what does that say? Upstairs. So it goes, you know, a lot of people don't want to accept that it goes a lot higher and a lot deeper. The only way to cure it is to accept it and then decide a method to combat it.
Okay, I'm serious. Something
I'm going to leave. I'm going to.
It keeps kicking me out. And this is YouTube. It's not my internet. I'm looking at my internet.
Anytime I ever talk about this right here, this 13 jurisdiction, there's always my phone is going to screw up, or now we're having this, and this is crazy.
Yeah. What's the name, Terry? What's the name of your show?
Mine, it's my name, Terry Lynn.
Terry Lynn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Terry Lynn is going to send you her link, but I'm going to definitely talk to you some more, because we're going to be diving into, like we said, Terry Lynn has a couple, and like Josh is going to be next on my channel, and Terry Lynn, we're going to go over your channel, and we're going to do, is it Lauren's case?
It'll either be Lauren or I'm going to do Courtney's. Cindy was in here earlier. And then I'm going to do a little research on these other two that I
check out a case out of Washington County, Christopher Dobler.
It's me that's freezing, and YouTube is coming up and telling me that it says that I'm having issues. I forgot I've gotten 3 different messages. It's not my internet at all. Killer's game is still going. her TV's going. Everything is just my YouTube.
It seems to me they seem to have a way to mess with a lot of it. But Heidi, after show, if you don't mind, I want to talk to you for a second.
Okay, so we can stay backstage for a second because I'm gonna. Oh, it's
Okay.
7:43. But anyway, Lisa,
Yes,
we're gonna
yes.
keep on this. You've got a lot of people in here that joined your Justice for Aaron page. They dropped the link on for your Facebook. And guys, and you can see a lot of those photos there too, because I did see some of them there as well. So go take a look. She has documented everything. She has part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then she calls out a lot of people. It's your wall of shame, right?
Yeah. Like I said, I actually took 3 statements to the DA's office and told them. One of them actually named one of the killers. They never even talked to these people. Then one of them gets drunk and high and confesses to a guy that don't get high or drunk. He went and made a statement what she had told him, which it was firsthand information. She told her part in the death. And the detective said, well, that's not credible. That's not what happened. I'm thinking, were you there? So, if whatever people say, if it don't fit their narrative, they fight it or just refuse to take it. To get a case reopened in Tennessee is nearly impossible. So, and the laws they're trying to pass that's going to fix it if it passes, unless it's a murder, you will not have access to anything, even after the case is closed. I mean, in Aaron's case, I've already got all this, but if that law passes, I couldn't get the 911 call report. I couldn't get the autopsy, nothing. They're trying to just take away any rights we have. Hey, you can have this body, do something with it. So basically, it would be a law, SB 9's name of it, that it could be open season. Oh, we'll kill this, we'll get rid of this and clean this up, rule it suicide or accident, and it's gone. All it is covering up the dirt.
And they're quick to do that. And that's what I don't like about and this is the state I live in, and I don't even like it. I don't like the fact that this is going on. And I know it, but it's just predominantly this jurisdiction. And there's so much to unravel and uncover in this shithole of towns and little bitty pat your back and I'll pat yours, good old boy bull crap.
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
Good old boys.
Oh, it's a good old boys.
Them good old boys got some bad habits. People talk.
They do. Oh, we are committed to continuing, Marcy.
Oh, yeah. I told them when I went in and talked to him, the detective, I said, you know that thorn in your side? He said, yeah. I said, if you can't get this done, I said, I'll be a thorn in your side till the day I take my last breath. And I said, I'll keep going till it does get done. But it's pretty amazing some of the stuff that you'll find out that people will come forward and tell you, and you're like, wait a minute. This is a police officer supposed to be doing a sworn oath of office, and he's doing this. The statements I've got are mind-boggling. How many I've got? I've had 45 months, and I ain't going away. I believe all of us, if we can stand together, encourage others that's had the problem to come out, we can make a difference for future generations. We can't bring ours back. But, those grandkids and Courtney's little girl's got to grow up there. What are they going to have to look at in the future? Will they have a future? To me, Tennessee right now is hell on earth, because they sure got a lot of families walking through hell right now. But ladies, it's been real. Anybody got questions? I'm an open book. It's time. It's time to stop it. So, and I believe we can do it. God's opened doors. I never heard of either one of you two before.
No.
There's continually new doors opening, and I believe they will continue. I believe people are hearing, but you can't say, I believe in God. I've got a bad mouth, and I know there's days he's saying, Lord, what am I going to do with that mouth? but I believe in God, and I believe he brought all of us together for a reason, and I don't believe he's going to let us down, because when one drops, it'll be like dominoes. Every case will, people will be able to ask the questions they never got to answer. Maybe, I'm sure there's some of them are suicides, accidents, but they don't bother to answer the questions in a manner where a lot of people can understand. And I'm not making fun or putting anybody down. There's, a lot of people that don't have high levels of education, and what you see in this is mostly people that cannot financially afford to fight these people.
Correct, and that I agree.
Yeah,
I agree, because a private investigator is not cheap. They are just not cheap. Anybody that says they are is crazy. They're not.
Yeah. We had one little girl, I believe somebody threatened her. She done a really good job putting is TC Spotlight putting these cases out. We were putting them out every week. We were going to put them all out. And, people, most people never even knew about Aaron's case. They never put nothing in the newspaper. And I was contacted by a man that works for a Marcia lady in New York on one of the big studios. And he asked me about Aaron's case. And he said, why don't they cover it locally? I said, I don't know. He said, give me a day and let me get back to you. He called me back. He said that there was big money being paid to keep the 13th cases out of the news. Dennis Fair is the only one that has truly reached in and got deep in it. So, but it's a pleasure. Like I said, if anybody got questions, they can relay them to you guys. I'll answer what I know. But my story ain't never changed. The truth don't change. So that's the way it is. But I appreciate you guys doing it, because the more people know, the better off we are.
Okay.
But God bless, and
God bless you, sweetie. I will talk to you soon. I promise.
Okay.
But this is No Justice, No Peace. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Lisa, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Terry Lynn, do you have any final words to say before we get out of here, baby?
No, it's just, I say pray for these mothers, because they're not playing. That they're not just sitting here, we're being mothers, that they are being called. They're not. This is real. It's real. And it's really happening. And it probably is also happening in other states, meaning you all.
Oh, states. It is. It is.
So it's not just here in Tennessee. It's not just here. It's everywhere.
No, it's not.
You got to take them down one at a time. You just have no choice.
I don't think taking them one at a time is a possibility, because basically that gets back to fire one, hire another one. You're gonna have to, and this is just my opinion. You're gonna have whenever something happens, they're gonna have to be able to take them all at one time, and that way, hell, these people it's in the background is gonna say, wait a minute, this ain't never happened before. I believe that's exactly what it'll take.
And be careful who
But
you all elect. Do your digging. Dive in. Dive
yeah,
in.
and I have one more thing to say. Tennessee, why it is picked to let all this happen. We're notorious for if it don't affect you, don't open your mouth.
Yep.
But when it comes and knocks at your door or their door, they expect everybody else to jump in. Well, tell what you know. Tell what you know. Why didn't you tell what you know? That's how it got out of control. Stand up. If you see something, you got little petty things, small drug dealing, it's going to happen. I see not snitching. But when you've got people out there taking lives, torturing people, raping people's daughters and their children, it's time to open your damn mouth.
Say something. See something. Say something. That's the one I was
Yes,
going
ma'am. See it, talk about it. But bye, ladies. I'll see you later.
All right. Bye. Bye. Terry Lynn, okay, what, this is,
it's sad.
my
but
body
this
got
is
cold. It got cold. Then I got hot. Then I had chills. And, we've heard this. A lot more details. A lot of stuff was left out for reasons that we just can't put it out. So I'm just like, this is a lot. Thank you. I am tired. I don't know what to say, Tia. What do you think?
This is what's happening.
And I want to say Lisa was so strong tonight because she's broken down on the phone so many times. She was really, really strong tonight.
She's going to battle. She is a warrior. She's not scared. I've spoke out on this. I've called these people at night and I've asked them. I don't care. I've called them and I've asked them, how do you sleep at night? Because I want to know, how do you sleep at night?
I'm sitting here just staring. I'm serious. I was sitting here staring at Aaron's picture and I was debating on whether to put that picture up. And you know how I feel about seeing people in a coffin. Yeah. And for some reason, I kept staring at it because I'm like, this man did not die from hanging himself. No. You can see all under the eye here. This eye is just, it's this eye. You can see they put Play-Doh or whatever to try to, it was just, I'm like, oh my God.
And seeing her kiss her baby.
Thank you, Granny, for being here. I'm so serious. True. I just kept staring and I'm like, imagine. And when she's talking about seeing him on the table, when she was telling us about at the services and how her daughter was checking his fingers and looking at everything. And she kept telling her she shouldn't do it because a lot of people were there and they can do it after. But just the things that she was telling us, and I see what, and I don't like looking at people in coffins.
I know. That's a bad thing. She has a bad thing about that. She doesn't. My thing is, when she didn't tell it tonight, but I'm going to tell it, where she told about her daughter in pageants. And
yes,
that her daughter put his hat on. You know how he'd wear it backwards, and she loved her brother. They had a close bond with one another, a really close bond, and how she was handling it, and it wasn't that great.
Nope.
And that tells you everything.
I'm serious. The pictures you see behind us and the picture he had taken like a week before with what you see laying in that coffin, that is not that man that you saw before. And I just...
Cranky Granny Harmony, he didn't go there to take his own life. He did not. There's no way.
No way. No way. Cranky Granny, I don't know if you heard, but his hyoid wasn't broken. There was no internal I think they used the rope to try to, it had to take 3 to 4, 5 people to carry this man. But she sent me the pictures of the floor. You can see where it was bleached. She asked me not to put it out. I didn't. She sent me the picture of the blood. I mean, it's just crazy. And the hat,
and you can see
where they were saturated with blood. How do you hang yourself and your hat is saturated with blood? I just don't get that.
He took a beating. The dogs didn't beat him up. It's common sense. That dogs did not beat him up. They did not. Those were puppies, by the way. Puppies don't do that.
It didn't. See, and I didn't want, and I know you kept telling me to put the picture up. She sent it to me. I just couldn't do it. She sent me 3 different photos.
I sent you the picture of the billboard, because that billboard, and there's probably, like I said earlier, there should be 2 more billboards of more kids. There really should be.
Yep, the noose was a plot, and his nose was broken. You can see the nose was broken, and she put the sunglasses on him because when she first sent it, it was the sunglasses. I said, "Oh my God, you can see the bruising all under the eye." And then the other picture she sent, there was no sunglasses on him, and I was like, "Oh my God, what the hell did they do to him?"
It's a corrupt county, or I should not even call it. It's just not one county. There's more counties within that jurisdiction, but that whole district is corrupt as hell. And there's so much that I cannot tell, because I just can't tell it, that I do know.
Yep, the puppies had baby teeth. These are little puppies. Little puppies, and there was no in the autopsy report, and I read it again. There was nothing about teeth mark. They said from puppy activity, it's consistent, but nothing about bite marks. Nothing.
What about the saliva and the blood?
Why they didn't test it? None of that.
None of that. Blood on puppies or anything. They effed that up on purpose.
Hi, Doom. So that's one of them. There are so many in that 13th district right there.
No, it's hot. I mean, I think that this is in every state, but the hiddenness of this, is bad. Dennis Ferrier has stayed on top of a lot of it. And if you go to that Fox 17.
Oh, yeah. Let me finish playing that clip before we get out of here, Tia. Hold on. I'm going to play that. I'm going to play the rest of it. I was just giving her time to get her, to get her hair and stuff done. Let me just play the rest of this.
I don't remember the girlfriend being related to any of them. She was a bitch. And she was the one that said what she said about, what did she say, Heidi? Oh, shit. What?
The girlfriend wasn't related to any of them. He met her. He was trying to save her, and that didn't work. So here's the rest of that Dennis interview. Hold on. And this is your friend Sheila, right?
Sheila.
Yeah.
First,
what she said.
How he was even able to hang himself.
Why is there not a stool, ladder, or chair in the pictures that show he jumped off something?
That's what I wanted to know.
Opportunity.
And then there is the autopsy report and the mild neck injuries.
He is 200 and let's say 50 pounds, big guy. The gravity of hanging yourself would have done so
Yes,
much
4 people,
damage.
CC.
Wysocki also has question about the damage to Key's face.
They should have checked the puppies and taken pictures of the blood on the puppies. They should have checked him for puppy saliva. If they did the damage on his eyes, there would have been evidence.
Yep.
Lisa Key says she is not a mother in denial. She is a mother seeking justice, and just too many things don't add up.
I believe that they just assume everybody's undereducated, afraid, and won't say nothing. I just wasn't built to do that. You know, you're a mother from the time they get here to the grave.
DA Bryant Dunaway responds, quote, "The autopsy performed by the medical examiner determined that the cause of death of Mr. Aaron Key was hanging and that his manner of death was suicide. The investigation does not indicate otherwise. Your story is subjecting a grieving mother to more stress. I wish you were interested in reporting the truth. I don't have this trouble with other reporters."
That's what he said.
I'm Dennis Ferrier,
You
Fox
have
17
this
News, your
trouble
Code
with
Red
other
station.
reporters.
Well, listen,
That is what he
does
said.
not. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, he does not like Dennis. Why'd you run from him? Just curious. See if you'll answer that one.
He does not
Just
like.
curious.
He said he doesn't have this much trouble with other reporters because other reporters just go along with what he says. That's why he doesn't have that issue.
Dennis has not stopped on this right here, on that judicial system, and he won't. People will say he's got a hard on for him. No, he has a hard on for the truth to come out.
But Terry Lynn spoke to Dennis today, and he did say he will be more than happy. He's just he's going through, he's taking care of some stuff right now. And it was funny. And then she goes, "Oh, and don't forget, I'm gonna buy you a few drinks."
Not buy him a drink.
That's what she told him.
Yeah, but yeah, I've known him for a while. I think I got into this
you
in
did that interview about your daughters, right?
Well, I've been in this since 2015. When Lauren she passed.
Oh, that's right. That's right. When Lauren,
July 26th. I need to correct myself because I always fall onto Kaylee's birthday for some reason, but it was the 26th that she passed at Wake Fair.
But let me tell you what was weird is when I was speaking to True Crime Tribe and Lisa the first time, when she mentioned Dunaway's name, I said, "Oh my God, I know this man." Terry Lynn talks about, and I texted her that night. I said, "Where are you? I need you." And she was out cold.
I was asleep. But boy, when she told me, I was like, I'm back. I'm in.
I said, I need you. I need you. We're going to do this. We're going to look at every single one of these and put these things out in the forefront. And we're going to keep putting them out there. We're going to keep putting them out there and running them to the ground. So, but anyway, I
sent you a billboard picture. I sent that to your email, the billboard picture. And
yeah, I know. I got it. And hold on a second. Let me get my email so I can show this billboard. I had it, Terry Lynn. Lisa sent me so much stuff, and I was trying to get it all organized, and it was just like, it was so much. Let me just send
There's
it
a lot. There is so much.
The more I read, it was like, oh my God. And then the more I saw, and I'm serious, she's talking, and I'm staring at her son. I'm like, this is not her son. And oh God, it's not her son. And this right here, that wrist right here, and you can see, and she was right, you can see teeth marks. And I wanted to know, was it broken when they put him down or what? And she doesn't know. But he was in a fetal position.
And knowing that he had been in a car wreck, remember he had been in a car wreck already. He had some major issues in the past. that man could never have done. He couldn't have done that stuff. He couldn't have. But
There's the billboard.
That's the billboard. I think
So this is
Courtney's
Caitlin right here. That's
and
Caitlin. We're
down
gonna do
there.
Caitlin. Joshua, if I'm not mistaken, has been found, but not alive. And his is really mysterious as well. These are all the people, and when you dig into this, they're all somehow connected.
They are.
They're
It's
all
facts.
somehow connected. So
That bottom one right there, that's Jason Rice. And then third over is Lauren. Top up there is Courtney. I'm trying to see everybody. I'm like, I know who these people
yep,
are.
you got them all. Yep, you
I know
know
who they
them.
are.
Yeah, you know them. But if you dig, and like when she was talking, and then when she brought up Caitlin, I remember hearing that name. I said, wait a minute. I remember hearing her name. And I know why I remember it, because I saw the poster for her being missing.
They're all from the same jurisdiction.
All
that's
from
the
the same
13th
jurisdiction.
system, same area of this state here. Same. Except for now, Lauren was from Hendersonville. She was at Wakefest in 2015 when hers happened.
Yeah. Oh, and with Lauren, and just so you know, Terry Lynn's going to cover it, but they say she drowned, but there was no water in her lungs.
None.
Yeah. So Caitlin and Josh were definitely going to do that. And Jessica is out of jail, Joshua's wife, and so many feel and I do believe she knows what happened. So we're definitely going to dig into that one. I think I want to do Caitlin's missing. I'm going to do the two of them together. I'm going to do Caitlin's story, and then I'm going to do Joshua's story. I think Joshua's going to be part 1 and part 2. I can only go by what we have so far on Caitlin Ledbetter's story, and what happened prior to and right up to after, because then it just goes. And I don't see good night, sweetie. I don't see where they're still investigating her case at all. Maybe I'm wrong, True Crime Tribe, but I don't see where they're still investigating her case, her disappearance at all.
I couldn't find a lot.
I couldn't find it.
Except I found pictures. I did find where Dennis did a segment on that. Just not a lot that I could find.
Nope. Yeah, I did. Oh. That's what I wanted to show you. Hold on. Let me go to my channel and let me show you just one of the ones that I just uploaded from his brother. Let me go to my channel. I'm going to show you just the one that I uploaded from his brother. I'm going to go to my community tab. And let me show you this real quick. My community tab. Hold on. I'm sorry. What did you say?
I was saying good night, Dom. Dom's going night night.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, let me open this one up. Okay, hold on. Let me share my screen real quick.
Tell me exactly what to do.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. This is Jason, Joshua Hannon's brother. I haven't done a video yet on this because I've been thinking this whole time that something will turn up about Josh. It still hasn't. Today's the 26th of September. Josh went missing on June.
Hold on, let's take that banner down.
Months now. I wrote a little something out here for, kind of from my heart for Josh. Everybody needs to know, like, the real facts that are going on, because his wife has got everything to do with it at the end of the day. And that's exactly what I'm about to get into right here. So this video right here is the ways to raise awareness on Josh Bohannon's case. He went missing June 3rd. I'm his only brother. So I'm just gonna get right into it. You know, Josh is 27. He's from Cookeville, Tennessee. We were both born and raised here. Anybody that knows me and Josh from our past knows how close we were. You know, he was dependent upon me as a brother, and I love that. You know, I haven't seen or heard from him in 4 months, and he deserves this from me. So, before we get into this, I want to thank everybody for everything y'all done, and I want to apologize for the brother I've been since this has been ongoing. Josh deserves the most for me to get this in the public's eye, and that's what I'm doing.
So that's that one. Hold on. I'm
Hi,
not going to play Bette
everybody.
Midler. Stop sharing. So it's 3 videos like that, but I'm going to cover Josh next week. But that's his big brother. So I will be covering Josh next week. And yeah, his tears is 3 parts to it. And he wrote it down, and it is tearful. And then we're going to have the follow up with what happened with Josh. But I'm going to play those videos back to back on Josh.
That's sad.
It's very sad. Very sad. So, but yeah, so we'll be doing Joshua and Caitlin, and then Terry Lynn. We're going to see which one she wants to do, because we're going to do some research. And she already have a couple of the mothers. You've met them today. They were in her chat, and they're willing to come up and speak with her as well. So yes, we're going to do this. You ready, girl?
I am ready. I'm ready.
We're going to do this.
I'm ready.
We're definitely going to do this. And I saw when they said, can somebody else? And believe it or not, I tagged Nancy Grace in this, and I'm going to download this video and I'm going to send to her. And I just love to hear her scream at people. I'm serious.
Shit.
Look,
Welcome,
I just love
Cranky Granny.
Thank you, Cranky Granny. Thank you for joining the membership. I really, really appreciate it. And guys, I had asked my mods tonight not to drop any links in the chat, because I didn't think this was the chat for that. So I just wanted to cover this with Lisa. And when she gets on a roll, she goes on a roll. Yes. So what happened to Joshua Bohannon is her group and my YouTube as part as well. So I will be dropping that. Oh, thank you, ma'ams. Thank you. So yeah, so we will be doing this. And this is something that you guys know. I started doing true crime, and I really enjoy it. And just the research. And I took so many notes talking. And that's why I came to that conclusion that all of these cases were related, because the name she was calling, the things she was saying, and I'm looking them up. I'm like, wait a minute, but they knew. And then you look at the Facebook and you see all of this stuff. I'm like, oh my God, this somehow or another, they knew each other, maybe not direct connections, but they all just about knew each other or had something to do with each other one time or the other.
Some of them were related to him. They were his kin folk, his own kin folk. That's what just had me going, what? His own kin folk.
Two of them were his cousins. So, but I am going to go and take me a nice hot bath. I'm going to get in my bed, and I would definitely be talking to Lisa tomorrow. This took a lot out of me tonight. And Terry Lynn, please call her tomorrow too, because she has some stuff she wants to talk to you about. I would probably call her around my lunchtime or when I take lunch. But it's just weird. So this is a rabbit hole, and I did not.
Oh shit. She froze on us. But she's talking about it is a rabbit hole. And it's scary that she named it the Tennessee Dark Hole, because it is the Tennessee Dark Hole. But she'll be right back in. I hope. If not, y'all are stuck with me. Let's see. She gonna get in that bathtub? Yeah, she's getting in the bathtub. She's getting in the bathtub, guys. But thank everybody for being here. I don't know what she's doing, if she's coming back. Or I'm hoping she's coming back. If she's not, I'm gonna have to close. Nope, wait, I'll be coming back. But yeah, thank y'all. Never been ashamed to say I'm from Tennessee.
Girl, they don't like me talking about this stuff.
I'm like, damn. Yeah, I know. But I'm going to say this. What she did say, what she said was, and what I've said this, people think that we're idiots, that we're ignorant because we're from the South. Well, let me explain something. We're not. We're not dumb.
I'm from the South.
Start a damn group and get a damn
You're
group
not
out
from
doing
the
it.
South. I'm from the dirty South. I'm at the boot, Louisiana. I'm South.
I'm just telling you, people think that, you know, if you're from the South, you're not very smart. Well, we're smarter than you think.
Yes, I'm gonna get in the tub with water bubbles, and I'm gonna put my bath bomb that I've grifted for, and I'm gonna drop it.
Well, thought you were grifting for church. Oh, honey.
No, I'm gonna do church on Sunday. But are you gonna go live again tonight, or are you gonna do?
I don't know, because I've got that one sister that when she said,
thank you, Gwen, so much. Thank you, Gwen. Good night. I'm sorry, TL. What?
No, you're fine. I want to do a little digging because it's an open case, and I kind of want to look into a little bit of that because I'm interested in knowing what they do to him.
Yeah, because you went down a rabbit hole and you couldn't go to sleep last night.
I was
we
like,
talked
this is
to
not
Lisa for what? 4 hours? 4.5?
It's a long time. It's a long time.
Probably longer than that, because one call was like 2.5, and then she ate. Her call dropped. She ate dinner. I actually did Kayla's hair. I was in a tub for 2 hours talking to you guys. So
I didn't even know. I was like, I did not know she was in a tub, but yeah, this is my passion.
Mississippi River rat. Yes, it's
a passion. You have to have a passion, but it's a passion for finding out everything. It's a deep. You just can't be scared, and I like the fact that she's a mom. She's not scared.
She's not scared. She's a mom that wants answers, and what she did say is that she needs 3 statements from medical officials so she can get her son's autopsy report changed. And I don't know why she needs all of that.
It's the death certificate wants changed. She wants it changed from
the death certificate, not the autopsy. I'm sorry, I'm tired.
And that's she's gonna be sure with that. Well, with me, fuck your death certificate. I'm coming for all.
I'm out of here.
She's losing her head. Are you froze again? Oh shit. But yeah, I'm just gonna say thank you all for being here. And think that she does have good freezing. This is bad. But yeah, it's not over. and it does happen, Bernadette, in a lot more areas than anybody would know. But when you know that that many happening in one area, you gotta do something. So we're gonna do that. Yeah, I'm thinking that somebody said don't be here, and we're here. So yeah, she hasn't ended this stream yet. She's gonna come back. She'll come back and close out. Bless it. Oh God, poor. But it's the deep, dark hole in the state.
Yeah, I'm serious. I don't know what the hell is going on.
I told you it happens with my phone and everything. It's
I'm
not
serious. I can get into. I got into my bank. I got into my email. I could not get back into StreamYard until I went completely out and redid my Chrome. This is crazy. But
you see how your phones are doing.
Yep, I am tired. You see, my eyes are getting dark.
Yep.
I've been up since about 3:45 this morning, and I'm going to. I will set the Thursday. I'll be back. I'm not going to go live with Debbie Thursday. I'm doing the organization that's stepping up to help DV victims. The board of directors are going to be here. So if you guys are able to, please be here. It'll be 5:30, same time I normally go live with Debbie. I'm going to do that live with them on Thursday. And then Friday, Debbie and I are going to have mid-afternoon cocktails because somebody's going to be drunk someplace and I'm going to be drunk. I think I'm taking Friday off just because for the hell of it. I'm tired. I need to have a long weekend. But I will definitely be back on Thursday. TL, are you going to go live tonight? I need you to go live. I need to listen to something.
Oh, I don't know if to be honest, I'm like, I don't even know if I have it in me. I don't know if I have it in me. My mind is everywhere.
I know mine is too. And I got to get these pictures off my phone because I'm still staring. Let me just get I got to get these pictures off my phone. But I love you. And I want to say I am looking forward to doing this with you. I really am. And I couldn't think of anybody else that I want to do this with but you, because you and I talk true crime. When we get on the phone, we discuss true crime, we discuss family, we discuss everything, but we might discuss a little YouTube junk. But other than that, we discuss true crime, and she has a passion for it, and she's not lying. When she said what she wanted to do, and she wanted to do true crime, and she's been saying that now, and now you're doing it. And you said it from the beginning why you wanted to do it. And it was because of the Lauren case. That's one of the reasons you wanted to do it. And you told me that from day one. So, somebody's getting an eye injection tomorrow afternoon. So I'll be here. But thank you, Cranky Granny. I'm not live tomorrow afternoon. It's Wednesday, right? I'm going live on Thursday. Not tomorrow afternoon. But you're going to be listening on Thursday because you're getting an injection tomorrow. I got it. See, I told you I'm tired. I'm sorry. I'm tired.
Bernadette, please pray for these families because I'm telling you, there is no justice. When you hear everybody's story, you'll really understand how deep this stuff goes.
Oh my God. The somebody named Jay Bisco passed away. I guess he's a fighter. He's an ultimate fighter, I guess. He passed away. But anyway, yes. This is my rabbit hole. I found it. Look, this is my rabbit hole.
And it's a deep one.
Let's do it. And if you guys don't mind, I put the videos up on my community tab, the ones that True Crime Tribe did. And it's about Joshua. And I couldn't play the one she sent to me for Caitlin because there's music behind it. and I don't want to get struck. So I'm going to see, but playing it, but you need the music. So I'm going to put that up on my community tab as well, because you need the music to go with it. And she is gifted at what she does when she puts together these posters. So I just want to say thank you again for True Crime Tribe for doing that for me.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
going to get out of here, Terry Lynn. I love you. I love all of you guys. Thank you for staying with us through all the technical difficulties from Big Brother. But I'm good. Look, I'm just going to go. I'm going to go and take me a nice hot bath. Good night. Oh, I'm kissing you guys. If you can see me, I don't have my camera on. Good night, guys. I appreciate you guys being here. TL, I will talk to you later. And I love all of you guys. Bye.
Love you. Bye, babies.
Love you. Bye.